Every program participating in GNJ Kids is required to complete a Quality Improvement Plan, or a QIP for short. This plan outlines how your program will achieve specific quality goals by identifying why something matters, who is responsible, action steps, timeline with key milestones and implementation dates, and resources needed to be successful and overcome obstacles. The QIP is not just a form to complete, it's a roadmap for meaningful, sustainable change in your program. It reflects your unique mission, values, and the needs of the children and families you serve. Choose what matters and let your why drive your grow journey. When deciding which standard to focus on, ask yourself, why does this matter to our program? How will this work improve the experience for the children and families you serve? By identifying what's most important to your community, you create urgency and motivation. Take time to reflect on your mission and values and let those guide your decisions. When your plan is rooted in purpose, it becomes easier to stay committed through the challenges of change. Please keep in mind, as you choose your standards, there is a 10-point minimum per domain requirement. Next, build your team. Who is responsible? As you begin writing your QIP, you'll notice that many steps are required to fully implement each standard. To increase your chances of success, build an implementation team, a group of people who will share the responsibility for reaching goals. Improving quality isn't just a director's job. Involving stakeholders from across your program is essential. Who are the teachers ready to grow in their practice? Can non-instructional staff offer support? Even if someone isn't on the main implementation team, they can still be temporary volunteers who help make standards successful. Even parents and community members can play a role, for example, by contributing to family engagement goals. Remember, people are more invested in change when they've had a hand in building it. You may also notice that some standards are geared toward specific staff roles, such as directors, administrators, classroom teachers, or support staff. It's up to your program to define who fits each role based on how your team operates, and each person falls under one role only. Define dates and actions. Once you've chosen your standards and team, start mapping out your action plan. Think realistically and strategically. What does progress look like in 3 months? What about 6 months or a full year? What resources and training will you need before full implementation is possible? In a helpful QIP, your action steps are specific and concrete rather than vague and general. You would want your action steps to list out your exact plan. In this example of an unhelpful QIP action plan, we see staff will receive training, which is vague. It lacks details or intention, and it isn't action-oriented. It also doesn't take into consideration any staffing challenges that may occur when doing training and doesn't explain when you want to see this action occur by. In this example of a helpful QIP action plan, we see Marissa will be in charge of ensuring preschool teachers all receive curriculum training by the end of the school year. She will create a schedule to have preschool teachers go out in batches. Teachers 1, 2, and 3 will go out by March. Teachers 4, 5, and 6 will go out by May. Marissa will be in charge of helping teachers reflect on learning and begin applying it within 1 week of training dates. Schedule meetings with TAS to talk about implementation after trainings are completed. Include curriculum implementation on monthly meeting agendas after trainings have been completed. Take note of how someone has been assigned to be in charge of this action's success. There is a clear date on when you believe these things will ultimately be done by, and it takes into consideration this specific program's ability to send teachers out in groups so as not to disrupt their staffing situation too much. You will know they are successful in their goals when staff have all gotten trained by the end of the year. Change doesn't happen overnight. Be honest about what's achievable and use your timeline to track small wins that build momentum. These milestones help keep the team motivated and focused. Plan for obstacles and remove barriers. In addition to recognizing successes in your plan, contemplate what the barriers might be in your efforts so you can preemptively plan action to address them. As you identify obstacles, reflect on their root causes. Some obstacles may be resources, but sometimes more obvious obstacles have roots in systemic causes, like resistance to change, outdated policies, and organizational culture. Keep momentum going. To make improvements last, you'll need to embed them in your program's culture. Sometimes standards will require written policies, but even when they don't, you may choose to write your own to reinforce long-term change. In your QIP, include small, consistent actions that make changes part of daily practice. Include how new staff will be onboarded with expectations. And include how and when you'll revisit policies and routines to renew efforts. This is what turns a QIP from a one-time plan into an ongoing cycle of growth. In each of the videos discussing a standard, we'll offer specific QIP considerations to support your planning. As you move through the standards, keep in mind that your QIP is a living document, one that should grow and evolve with your program. The goal of the QIP is for you to create a sustainable plan that allows this standard to be integrated into your program for the long haul. Run the experiment. Change takes time, and mistakes are opportunities for growth when we withhold judgment and reflect on them as teachable moments. By creating a psychologically safe environment for people to explore new ways of doing, you encourage staff to be willing to take chances, make mistakes, and grow.